it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the
I'll
wins.
definitely do
I'm
that.
in debt to no one but the one who took my sins.
Definitely
I
worth
do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up.
Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of the Epic Podcast. We are in the house today with my guy Jared, and we finally got Boom in here, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm telling you straight up. He been standing us up for like this many
Man,
weeks.
this,
You
bro.
know I had bowling.
This many weeks, man. But nah, he in here, man. Finally got him in here again. Uh how's y'all sports weekend been, man? We gonna start with you, Boom, man. Say something.
Man. Well, you know, Pacers lost games 1 and 2. Well, yeah, we
Yeah,
got chilled
no,
out games one
yeah.
and two, so it's been a little down, but you know, hey, they gotta come back to net. So it's all good.
I agree with that, man. And I think I seen that Rick Carlisle submitted like 78 missed foul calls to the
That's
Of
NBA.
crazy.
course. As he should, because like it's just getting
78?
outrageous.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's outrageous, bro. Like I ain't even watched the last seven. Well, I ain't even gonna say the last seven. I probably didn't even watch the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter because I was just like, yeah.
You kind of knew it was gonna happen, man. Down the stretch, they been, yeah.
And I hate it because the Knicks just be thinking that they just doing all this and that. And it's like, no, y'all getting some handouts here. Like, yeah. So, but they gotta come back to net, so it's all good.
Yeah, and we just need to steal one, man. Like I feel like we be good at home, but if
Man,
we just
we stole. We would have stole one. We
we
would have
would have
stole
stole
game
game
one.
one. Yeah, we would have stole game one. I mean, this is the first time I think the Pacers been down in the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
as far as the 0-2 or even down 2-1 or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how they handle the adversity, man. So I'm eager to see how they play at home, and hopefully we get these games at home, and like I
Mm-hmm.
said, can end it in New York like we used to. Uh, what about you, Jared?
Man, chilling, bro. Like same as all every other week. My interest is out, so I'm just I'm saying enjoying the sports. Like
How the
the
Reds
Nuggets
doing?
going down 0-2 got me kind of like, damn,
Oh yeah, the Nuggets.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. So
Hey,
I'm
hey.
just trying to see some good games at this point, man. I don't got no interest left in it. So
I mean, this is like these losses. Like they've been bad losses. The Nuggets look stuck in mud
man,
when they out there playing, bro. Compared to what the Timberwolves doing, it's like,
Minnesota make them look like a G League team, bro.
man, like for real. Like I'm like I ain't never seen the Nuggets be
It's crazy.
dominated like this.
It's really crazy.
Like on the like, okay, the defensive end, all right, whatever. But like on the offensive end, like Jokic not being able to get to his spots to get his shots off. Like Murray, I mean, they say he injured, but super ineffective. Like even the role players can't get off. So it's like
They're
that's wild.
literally just they're coming up with a strategy to defeat them in coaching, but we'll get into that later. But
um, and then what we think will happen? Well, you know what? We're gonna jump over. We're gonna jump over to the NBA right now, man. Let's get this conversation started. Uh, so let's just start in the East real quick. We talked a little bit about the Knicks Pacers. Um, Celtics Cavaliers. Did the Cavaliers got a chance?
no,
Hell no, they getting swept.
They got spanked that first game, man. It didn't look good at
They,
all.
I mean, and to be honest with you, I feel like the Magic would have been a more entertaining matchup with the Celtics, just
hmm
because they have a lot of length, no Diddy, at all their front court positions. So it's like if you
Defensively, they I mean, defensively and athletic. I see what you're saying. They probably could have stayed in
yeah,
front of
they
them
would have gave them.
and
Yeah,
competed more.
I think it would have been a more entertaining series. Like the Cavaliers, all they got is Donovan Mitchell. Like Darius Garland is nice, but all
He
they
ain't been
got is
playing
Donovan
good.
Mitchell. Like they don't have no front court people that can put up 20 and 10 every night, and be effective on the defensive end. So it's kind of like They about to get
Is Allen supposed to come back this series?
man. He's
Oh no,
not gonna
yeah,
be a
that's
factor.
I
Jared
didn't even
Allen?
realize he was missing until I was watching the first game, and I was like, damn, he is out. They were saying like he's nowhere near ready to come back. I don't know what he's dealing with. I think he's like
Mm,
every time he can't sleep, but I don't know what he's dealing
Damn, he
with.
can't sleep. Damn.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
maybe
Because
it's
I
like
think he
some
could be he could
mental or
like you said something with that like you were saying in that front court boom. I think he could be a difference. You know what I mean? Young
Hmm.
guy.
it
You know what I
says
mean? Got bounce
he
size
has a
length.
ribs injury. Sorry,
Oh,
it says
rib
he has a
injury.
ribs
Okay.
injury.
But yeah. No, that's yeah. It's looking rough for the Cavaliers. I just don't like counting them out, man. Like the way they battle back against the Magic, which we're saying would be a better matchup, but the way they battle back against the Magic and
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
games, it was some tough games down the stretch that they really pulled out. So I think
Hmm.
maybe they could slow the pace down with the Celtics. I think maybe that'll help them, but I don't know, man. The Celtics have just been elite. You know what I mean? In the half court, fast break offense, defensively, like it's just really tough to get a handle on it. And it's with no Porzingis.
Mm.
Yeah.
So imagine if Porzingis is out there to spread the floor even more, like
But they don't have nobody that can defend Jalen Brown or Tatum. And
yeah.
with Derek White, he going off. It's kind of like, you know, Donovan Mitchell isn't a defensive. He's not a he's not a two-way player. He's just
Yeah.
primarily on the offensive end. And then it's like I don't know who they're starting at small forward. Is it Okuro or Karis
Um
LeVert? Like,
now Levert ain't starting. Struce. Is it
I got
Max
to pull it
Struce?
up here.
oh,
Yeah,
Strus,
I
yeah.
think
no,
it's Struce.
Okoro is out there though. I guess he's playing the four though.
He might be playing four and
They
Mobley. They may
started,
be playing Mobley at the
yeah,
five.
they
Yeah.
started Mobley, Okoro, then you got Struess, Mitchell, and Garland. So
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
But I mean, and that's you got
And Max Struce is
Okoro and
probably the
Strus.
only defensive one they really have out there that can, you know what I mean, man
But
up.
who? But let's be real here. Who he go
I'm not
stop?
saying he gonna lock up. I'm not saying he gonna stop nobody, but I'm just talking about just known for the defense. He's probably the only one. He's just a 3-and-D guy. But nobody, no, I agree with you. And even Mobley, I mean, like, but who you holding? Like, um, what's old boy name? Al Horford. Like, he's a threat offensively, but you know what I mean. He's not. You're not guarding. You're not putting him on Tatum or Brown. So it really don't make that big of a difference. Even if you stop somebody like Al Horford, like them
I
other
know.
two gonna kill you. Along with Holiday too. Like that's still another offensively.
And
You
he
could.
ain't gonna do nothing but focus on locking up Darius Garland. So that takes away your second primary option.
Yep.
So
Nah,
yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah, they play. They about to play at 7. Or they're on now.
no, it's
yeah, they should be
halftime. It's
on now.
tied up.
Halftime. Okay, yeah, I'm about to say they on now. So, how's that going right now, Jared? I know you watching.
It's tied up 54-54.
Wow.
Okay.
Um, Tatum is off to a slow start shooting. I mean, he's 3 for 10. But he does have 16 points. He's been at the line 10 times, so
Okay.
that's cool. But yeah, nothing crazy is going on. Mitchell only has 6. Garland only has 5, which they're going to have to pick it up to make the series respectable.
Absolutely.
Karras got 12 off the bench. So yeah, it's crazy. I didn't realize how small Cleveland was until I realized that Allen wasn't out there. But I mean, they have Tristan Thompson, which he hasn't played yet tonight. But
He
I
gave him
like
some valuable minutes in those last 2 games against the
yeah,
Magic.
I like Tristan Thompson for what he is, what he does. That's
Exactly.
why I couldn't believe that he didn't start for the Lakers last year. But again, we're
He
gonna
ain't
push
even
that
Talk
off.
about that.
hey, he ain't
I'm
even
ready for that
clocking no
conversation.
minutes for them right now. So
Yeah, but I was just thinking about like the last series against the Magic. He was playing
Yeah, I saw him
uh,
out there. I saw him out there.
down the stretch. But yeah, no, that I mean, like you said, it's size, but you also because the Celtics can run too if they have to. So you still don't want to put too much size out there that slows down your defense. You can't get set up, you know what I mean, or you can't get it stay in front of nobody. So
Right.
let's jump over to the Western Conference, man. You got the Mavs up 1 on the the Thunder up 1 on the Mavs, and the Timberwolves, like we were saying earlier, out to a 2-0 lead on the Nuggets. Granted, the Nuggets got this championship pedigree, and who knows? They haven't been in this position lately in the playoffs the past couple of years, but the Timberwolves are showing they really a different breed, and their defense is ridiculous. They swarm on players like Wolves. Like
Yeah,
they are literally running around the court. Like the rotation, man, their rotations is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I and that's a testament to their head coach. I mean, when you got three bigs that really are athletic and they can stay with Jokic, it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna throw all three of them at you, and it's up to you to see what you're gonna do with it. And with Jokic having to go against all three, it's like you can't just get one in foul trouble. And
right.
it's gonna keep being somebody that's gonna be fresh, that's gonna be on you at all times. So and yeah, he can't get into the plays, you know, on a consistent basis.
I agree
So,
with that.
you know, when he's not able to do his thing out there, it kind of puts him in a bind, like because everybody else is kind of waiting on him to see what he's going to do. And when they clamping him down, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And Jamal Murray, I don't know what his issue is, but
Yeah, I know. And like I said, I know they say he been hurt, but
He's only
again,
Kobe against the Lakers, so I mean,
and Utah,
yeah, I mean he's
uh,
a good player, but I mean he
yeah,
turns into some extraterrestrial, however you say that word, creature when he's playing against the Lakers. I mean that's fine. It's got him where it's got him where they've gotten so far. So, but yeah, I mean he's definitely good, but against the Lakers, he's the greatest player ever. But I digress.
yeah. And seeing the rest of those guys, they're role players like Porter Jr. Um, what's the
Aaron
other guy?
Gordon.
Gordon,
KCP.
KCP. Those guys can't get off if Jokic and Murray's not drawing the defense to them. So if they
Mhm.
not going, then the rest of the guys is pretty much stuck because
And
they
then you
depend.
also and then you also got to think about this. They don't have a bench. Like they got Braun,
I've been
they
saying that
got
all year.
they got Reggie Jackson, but
It
who
really like
else?
they. I think they run seven. I
They
think
I,
they really only play seven.
yeah, because I haven't even seen DeAndre Jordan yet.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Like,
Nope.
it's like you gotta in the playoffs, yeah, you want to kind of curve your minutes and things like you want to kind of slim down that rotation a little bit, but if you already slimmed it down and you really ain't got nobody else to count on, like you can't just bring somebody fresh out there who ain't really got that type of playing time all year and throw them in there and it's the playoffs.
Right.
Like where one little mistake can change the entirety of the game.
Yep.
So yeah, they kind of on the bad end of the series and
Yeah.
being down 0-2 and heading to Minnesota. It's like yeah, you're not going to steal one there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, man, you going now? You about to go to Minnesota? Like, I don't like you said. I don't see them stealing one in Minnesota.
Mm-mm.
But that Thunder Mavs game, I think is going to be better. The second game anyway. I don't. I see Kyrie and Luca figuring it out. They've been figuring it out, and I mean, they've been going crazy. Uh, are the Thunder too young for this for this spotlight?
Nah,
Man, they've been
nah.
defying odds to me all year. I still don't know how they're getting it done with that lineup. I don't know. I
It's
don't know.
continuity. It's
Yeah,
continuity.
and
Continuity and that chemistry.
maybe
It
that
goes a long way.
coach. Maybe that
Mm-hmm.
coach. I'm just saying. I mean, when you got a coach that actually knows what he wants to do, what he wants to do to take the other team out of doing what they want to do, it goes far. But I digress again.
All right, man. Let's jump into these award winners in the NBA, man. They announced the last couple. So you got Rookie of the Year, uh Wimby. You got Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gay. I think that's his third or fourth.
Rudy
Third.
Gobert.
Rudy
Rudy
Gobert.
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gay is not even in
Oh,
the
why?
league.
Bro.
Hey,
And I
because I was
typed
sitting
it up
there
like
thinking
that.
to
And I'm
myself,
thinking, no, Rudy Gobert. Yeah, right. I'm just like, bro. I'm old school, bro. I'm just used to Rudy Gay, man.
hey, I was about to say, did they name the Defensive Player of the Year trophy after
Award,
him?
Rudy Gay.
I say, hey, that's wild.
Yeah, that would have been hella
Oh, I'm about
wild.
saying I don't think he won none. Uh, Rudy Gobert. Sorry. wins Defensive Player of the Year. NBA Social Justice Champion. This is one of them new random trophies. Karl Anthony Towns gets that, and of course MVP goes to Jokic. I think all those are okay. MVP though.
That should have went to Shea.
Okay. Let's talk about it. So me and my best friend, we was talking about this the other day, and he was saying that he thinks it should have or could have been Luca. He led the league in scoring. I mean, to pull his team out of the play-in into a playoff spot. I was saying it was going to be Shea just based on how the NBA views that award and how they've traditionally given it out. It's usually been, like I said, the best player on the best team with the best record, usually in the strongest conference, which has been the West for a little while now. What? And I heard Shaq and Charles arguing about this. What should the award, the MVP? It says most valuable player. Like, what do y'all think the qualifications of that should be?
I don't know, but I know what it should be. It should be the best player.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
What do you think it should be?
literally numbers. Who's the best player? Who's producing the most? I think is who it should go to. Granted,
Regardless of their record, of the team's record, should the
yeah,
team
you
success
have to
fall into that some too?
you'd have to consider that, but man, I want the best player to win it, or maybe they should have a player of the year and an MVP or something like that. I
I
want
agree with
the
that.
best player regardless of your record. I don't care if y'all 2-52 or 2-62, 20-62 rather. But if you
If you got a
average
player on your team averaging 40, then like,
35,
yeah,
12 rebounds, and 10 assists, you need to win at least best player of the year, most
yeah.
outstanding player, or whatever. But I mean,
And
I
I
feel
see
like
they're
that's the only
adding these
way.
type of these random awards. It would be very easily to add a player of the year and then an MVP, like you said.
Because and then it's like if you were to make it like how you suggested, like best player on best team, best record, then I mean we don't need to vote. Like nobody needs to vote. It could just be an automated. And then
Yeah,
what if that best player on that best team only averages 26 and 6? Does that like 26 rebounds and 6 assists? Does that qualify him for MVP? I feel like if you put too many stipulations on it, then that takes the guessing part out of it. But um, I'm actually not one that should have guaranteed. I mean, I don't know. Jokic's numbers are crazy. 26, 12, and 9 as a center. I mean, I can't.
it's
Basically, what
hard
I'm
to
trying to say
deny
is I
that.
can't really argue with it.
Yeah,
I can entertain the conversations for somebody saying Luca or somebody saying Shea, but I can't necessarily say they got it wrong though.
because I think Luca averaged like 33 this year.
Yeah, that's nuts. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think it was like 33, 6 and 8 or something like that.
that's what I'm saying. Then maybe you should have maybe he should have got more consideration, but
I was just
um, Jokic is one assist off a triple double. Like
yeah,
that's pretty significant. But
yeah.
you know,
I mean, and then like usually players, and this is what I was telling him. I'm like, usually players get penalized for having a second star or a second player that what I mean that performs
hmm
well. And that's why I was thinking about, like, I was surprised when it didn't go to Shea because I'm like, well, he got a lot of I think the next best player on the team is averaging like 19 or something like that, or close to 20. Which and then it's like you got him averaging 33, so it's like a huge gap. He's like clearly separating himself from the rest of the team. But then
right.
when you got like Jokic averaging what he's averaging, and then you got Murray averaging like 26, you know what I mean, or 25 or something like that. And then you look at Luca, it's like, okay, Luca may be penalized because you got Kyrie. Luca averaging 33, but you got Kyrie averaging, 23. It's like, okay, well, we see where their success is coming from. Um, but when you look at Shea and it's like that big of a gap, it's almost a 12-point gap difference between him and the next best player on this team. You look at
hmm
Jokic, it's like, okay, we can see where their success is coming from because, Murray picks up, the slack on that end. That's why, like, when you look at like Giannis and Middleton, like, Giannis only got one because I think they look at, okay, Middleton is coming into his own. And when you got that second star, like LeBron, like, you look at his numbers, like, the past 5 years and you compare it to his MVP years, it's almost like right there. And it's
hmm
like, but he don't even get a vote.
Right.
So I don't know, man. It's hard to kind of put, you know what I mean, like a label or like a formula to this MVP award. But
Yeah, it's different and a little weird, but
I mean, but 3 and 4 years, I mean, he imagine if he do this next. What if he went 4 and 5, bro?
crazy. He could have really had all
Four in a
four in a
row.
row, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really.
But I think
I
they
think
gave it
they
to
just gave that
Embiid
one.
to
Yeah, I
kind
think
of
they
break it
just
up a
gave
little bit.
that to him.
Yeah, because Embiid had been right there on the cusp, and like I think there was one they the number one seed that year in the East. No, they was number two. I think
Mm-hmm.
were they behind themselves? I don't remember, but like he was just I don't know. They I guess they feel like they had slided him the year before because I think he led the league in scoring that year too. But again too with the games though, like now being qualified for awards, like maybe you know they looked at okay like Jokic played I don't know 75 games, or whatever. So maybe that's coming into play now too. They're looking at like, okay, maybe Shea only played like right at what is it, 65 or something like that, 62. Did you got to be to qualify?
Hmm.
Maybe he was closer to that number than Joker. I think it's 65.
It
Um,
is. It's 65.
so being closer to 65, like okay, well he played 66. Jokic played 75 or whatever. So I don't know. Who knows when those votes come? But all right, man, let's get into the nitty gritty of this. What we really can't talk about. What's the rest of the sports world is talking about right now? So NFL players versus NBA players and who could play and who lead. So Austin Rivers claims that he could take 30 NBA players that could play in the NFL, but couldn't take 30 NFL players that could play in the NBA. So I actually did some research online and looked at some people lists that I have right here, but I want to hear y'all thoughts on this first. Boom, with that face, what you talking about, man?
I mean, let's be honest here.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let's play the clip first. Let's play the
Okay,
clip.
go
Let's
ahead.
play the clip first before we. All right, so
Can you turn it up a little bit?
nah, that's just how it is on the website. I think that's the loudest. Okay, so with that being said, what do you think, Boom?
Let's be real here. Like, I want to know. He's gonna have to break down that 30 list that he's looking to take to the NFL because anybody over 6'5" is getting toasted. For one, you can catch the ball if you want to, but here's the thing: it's gonna be hard getting up off that ground. And if you catch that ball, and let's just say, Derwin James catches you coming across that middle, you definitely going back to being an NBA player. You done after that. And that's what's happened to a lot of these NBA players. Like they played, some of them have played football, and they got that one nice hit, whether it be Pee Wee, middle school, high school. They got that one nice hit, and they said, you know what? I'd rather play basketball. And then at the same time, you got NFL players who just said, you know what? I'd rather play football than basketball. I can play basketball, but I'd rather play football. And they actually have highlights. Like you can go to a lot of players, Jalen Ramsey, Anthony Richardson, um, who else? I know Darius Butler. He posted some film the other day about him hooping. Like you have all these players in the NFL that can post film of them actually out there hooping in the game, dunking, windmilling. Miles Garrett, you know, they can actually play. But when have you seen an NBA player post their football film? Like you might have seen a little bit on LeBron. Um, who else? Allen Iverson, who really he could have played, definitely could have played some college ball at quarterback. Um, but the only person that legitimately um, played both and could have been nice in the NFL also is Charlie Ward. You know, he won the Heisman at Florida State. and he
That's
definitely would have
crazy.
been in the NFL. Now, at the time when he joined, they wasn't they wasn't in tune to the whole dual threat quarterback thing. So I think that's what kind of slighted him to go to the NBA. But outside of that, like, no, you can't take 30 players from the NBA and put them in the NFL. Nah,
Okay,
can't happen.
Jared, what you think?
I'm kind of up in the air because I mean it's like I'm a circumstantial guy. It depends on what positions. It depends on are these guys being able to train first.
Mhm.
It just I feel like there's a lot of variables. Like, do I feel like there are some guys in the NBA that could do some things on the football field? Yes. Do I think that they could do it like tomorrow? No. You know what I'm saying? So like, I need more information. Do I think that there's 30 guys in the NBA that could, with some training and practice, play somewhere in the NFL? I actually do believe that, and I do believe for the other way around too. So I look, I'm at a toss up with it. Like I said, I could see it happening, but like tomorrow, no. And it's like I put in the group. A big thing for me is like body movements, like because even what you're saying, you seen some of the NFL guys, hooping. They still look weird though. Jump shots is weird. The body movements just aren't there. Like I mean, dribbling is tough. I mean, you got to be able to dribble. Um, Anybody can hoop, but can you break a press? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I don't know. Do you know what to do in the when you're being doubled? Can you make the right reads? Can you shoot with people in your face? I mean, it's
It's
a
a lot
bunch of
to it.
variables that
You know,
I just don't really. So I could see it, yeah, and I could see it, no.
but
But
you know
football
what?
is just not a hard sport to me. That sounds crazy, but
You
like
said
I,
football
I just
isn't.
don't think it's a hard sport. Some positions are hard, but a lot of it's not that complicated. That's just my observation though.
I don't know. I
Okay,
don't know about that. And when you said something about the jump shot thing, I automatically went to Tyrese Halliburton and Kyle Anderson.
That's true. That's very true. But the difference is he's practiced that probably. He's probably been shooting like that since he was 8
Oh yeah,
consistently. And although the NFL guys probably been shooting the way they shoot for a long time too, it's like they don't have as many shots and as many reps as Halliburton has. Not only has Halliburton practiced that shot on his own, he's played in multiple games at a high level with that shot. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good point, but that's kind of different situations when you're speaking on an NBA $260 million man. I mean, he can shoot underhanded, and I'm still gonna take that over most people's perfect form if you don't play NBA.
yeah.
So, but
okay.
that's a very good point, though. Very good point.
So with that, let's see. I know we posted in the group that James Jones has something to say about this. So let's hear what he had to say, and then I'll give y'all my take on it.
I don't even know who the fuck he is, bro.
He was a
He's,
wide
he's,
receiver on
he
Green
was wide
Bay.
receiver, yeah, for Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Only James Jones
He
I
was on
know
that
is
Super Bowl team.
I think he was like number 89 or something like that.
Yeah, we can't hear that, bro.
Oh, I can't turn it up no more. Let me say something. Yeah, that's as loud as it go.
That's crazy. You think the viewers can hear it?
We'll
Anybody
see.
watching? Can y'all give us some feedback? Nobody? Okay.
There's two people watching.
Can anybody hear us? Please comment yes or no, please.
Like I hear it. I can hear it. I don't know. It's not super loud, but I can hear it.
Anybody? Anybody? All right. Well, yeah, I can't hear it at all. The last one I can hear a little bit, but this one I can't hear at all.
Hmm.
But it's all cool. I think we get the gist of what he was saying. For him to say Austin Rivers, is it still going or is it off now?
Yeah, it's still going. You got about 10 seconds.
Okay.
So basically, he was saying Austin Rivers barely made it in the NBA
That's
himself.
that's that's cap as hell. Does he not know who Austin Rivers is? Austin Rivers was one of the best prep players in the country. One of the best prep players in the country. He went to Duke, held his own there. Solid NBA career. His dad is was an NBA player, current coach, so he has all that knowledge. To say that I'm taking his career over James Jones' career, and that's just keeping it a buck. But that's neither here nor there. I think he was going a little bit too hard. Like I don't think it's as deep as he was making it seem. But I mean, he's gonna defend this sport. He's gonna defend his craft. So I get it. But dude was kind
Okay,
of out of pocket.
so I found this list of NBA players that they think can play in the NFL. So they say LeBron James, just because his size and like he played tight end. He's saying Anthony Edwards, just his athleticism, probably could play some receiver. Jalen Suggs for the Magic was a star quarterback in high school,
Mm-hmm.
dual threat, and he was like the number two player in the state of Minnesota. So he actually won Mr. Football and Mr. Basketball in the same season.
That's crazy.
Of course, they're gonna say Giannis. They're gonna say Zion because of their
Like, see, I
athleticism.
can't see what the hell is Giannis gonna do on
They
the
just said
football.
like they said
Exactly.
exactly, but they
He
said
ain't
One of
like
those, I was just like,
no,
man,
no, they
hell
said
nah.
they said his leaping ability and his
No,
agility and speed. But I'm like,
so
hell
he
at,
nah.
don't have
at 16, I don't know, man. They saying a receiving threat, but
I can't even see him catching the ball like
that's
that.
what I'm
Hell
looking
no.
at too. When I seen that, I'm like,
Because he's not really quick.
you looking
So
at like
like
6'10"
Jalen Ramsey
trying
would
to
lock him
run.
like he wouldn't get any separate. Who is he gonna separate from?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
There's
But
no
then
way Giannis could
if
play
you,
I mean, he got
football.
the arm length thing would come into play, so it'll be
yeah,
hard
I'm
to
thinking like
jam
if you
him
throw
up.
it up, yeah, even
I
if you
I
jam him up,
I,
if
I
you put the
couldn't
ball high
I
enough,
couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. You got to be super coordinated to play, and I just can't see it. I
No,
could
I can't see Giannis honestly, and I
uh,
can't see Zion either. To be real
I,
with you,
I can't really even see. Well,
but they
maybe
saying
I'm
like at
thinking
like
about
DT
40-year-old
at
LeBron,
six
but
five, you look at. I'm thinking of if you look at somebody like DeForest Buckner, he about the same size as Zion.
oh yeah,
You know what I
I don't
mean?
know,
And with
man.
Zion's
I think
quickness,
another
I
thing,
mean,
I feel like the builds are different too. I
yeah,
mean,
no,
although they can have
absolutely,
comparable height and weights, like football players train differently than NBA players. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So like the weight isn't the muscle, the weight's not distributed the same. So
at
I
all.
think that's what's kind of messing with my mind too.
yeah.
Because I can't see Zion coming around the edge. Like I feel like somebody would just block him with one hand. Like,
Um,
but I mean that could just be like I said.
because we like mentally, like
Yeah,
you're not used to seeing them in
I'm a
the, you're right.
visual person. I just can't see it.
So they say,
Please say that
they,
they didn't put Anthony Davis on there.
nah, they say John Morant could be a good receiver or running back. They say
Receiver,
It's like
they say Draymond will make a good linebacker.
no,
Um, let me
I,
see.
I
he getting
These
cooked.
other people. I'm just saying they saying Marcus Smart. Just some of the tough guys in the NBA.
Marcus
Russell
Smart could
Westbrook.
probably be a safety.
Yeah, that's what they said, and
Yeah,
they say he'll be a great safety. They said Russell Westbrook could be a running back.
uh,
nah, I see him
he,
on defense.
I'm
yeah,
just saying.
they
Aaron
see that's
Gordon. They
another
say Aaron
thing.
Gordon could play some tight end.
Running backs are no diddy, but running backs are thicker below the waist. You know what I'm saying? Like Russ Westbrook ain't got like the thighs of a running back. Like he don't have the bottom half strengthness of a
Well, like you
running back.
said, and their bodies are made for basketball, so
Yeah,
different muscles are
that's what I
used.
was alluded to
So they're
earlier.
probably like if they trained the way football players trained and ate the way they would. You know what I mean? They
Right,
just thinking
right,
about like you take their ability that you see on the court and you put them in a football body. You know
right.
what I mean? You know what I mean? Whatever that average body is at that position. And you say, all right, we take his athletic ability, put it into a running back's body in the NFL. We think he will perform like this.
Oh
So
well,
I
then
think
if
that's
you
how they're
and
this
you could switch that
from what
out.
I'm
You could
reading.
say you could put a NBA
No,
person.
absolutely.
Then yeah, I mean, that's a wash there at
So a
that
few
point.
others they saying Bam, Jimmy Butler,
Oh my god,
them
bro!
being Sabonis. Some of
What
these
the
people did play.
what
Dennis
the
Smith
fuck is
Jr. for the
Bam gonna
Nets.
do on a football field? What
What?
Let's see
position
what
is
they
he
say
gonna
about
play?
Bam. 6'9" to it. They saying a good lineman. If he, I mean, but he had to bulk up though. I mean, like you said, I mean, there's 6'9" linemen in the
I
league.
mean, you see
But
what
they're
happens.
like 340 though, Vernon. Like he's probably 240.
Yeah,
Two
you
fifty
see how a
five.
lot of these guys like that's coming in from college football to play. Well, not college football, but college basketball to play in the NFL. You see how long it's taking them to adapt to the game.
Yeah.
You ain't just gonna be able to just come in and just play. And I
No,
think
I
that's
agree.
something that Austin Rivers kind of has to look at. Like, you see, you know how long it takes. Like Mo Ali Cox took him probably about 3 or 4 years before he actually was able to get some real playing time, and that's a long time.
No, I agree. They say David Roddy from the Suns. I guess he had a D1 offer to play QB while he was in high school in Minnesota.
Who?
Mm.
David Roddy for the Suns. He's 6'4", 255. They saying he'd be a good lineman, but he played QB in high school in Minneapolis. Minneapolis, I'm sorry.
Man, don't nobody know him, man.
I'm just saying these are the random people they
I
picked
ain't just naming off people. He sound like a creative player on 2K.
He looked like
Like,
one too.
up.
But nah, but do
Okay,
I
though.
do I think that there could be 30 guys from the NBA with training, like to actually go through practices in the training camp that could do something on a football field? Yeah. And I see
Yeah.
that opposite way as well. All pro, probably not.
So
But
they say so like players who like so opposite. So NFL players that could play in the NBA. They say Mo Ali Cox was one of them because um
you could really
he
just
played
name
in
off all
college.
the basketball players that's converted.
Yeah, they Keon Coleman for the Bills.
T
He played
Higgins,
before.
Mm-hmm.
Mason Line for
yeah,
the
T
tight
Higgins
end
was
for the Niners.
crazy. His mixtape was
But then
crazy.
they said there's some people that like to see play. Like they saying Bobby Wagner. Man, I don't know about that.
Hell no.
Oh wait a minute, he played basketball in high school. Christian McCaffrey. They saying he played three sports in football and basketball. He played in high school.
Yeah, I
Terrell
ain't
CJ
see three
Pryor
sports.
was an awesome basketball player
Yeah,
too.
CJ
Mm-hmm.
Stroud. I think they're kind of doing current. He played basketball. And he's dropped 30. He talking about he dropped 31 in the All-Star game, celebrity All-Star game. Dang, that's different. Cooper DeJean for the Eagles. Hey, his
Hey,
high
did
school
you?
tape is cold.
That's what I was about to say. Did you see that man mixtape?
Hey,
Hey,
his
Didn't
tape
I
is
he
probably
was
cold.
didn't
scam-
even
I
know.
ain't
he
gonna
was
lie.
scamming on everybody.
Hey, he could hoop.
Yes.
He could hoop. They saying Dan Skipper tackle for the Lions. He played in high school also, but he's 6'10", so he the tallest player in the NFL. They saying you can't teach height. Devontae Adams. Now see, I think he played two sports. He played in high school and he could have played in college. They said, but he chose football. Dewan Jones tackle for the Bears. He played at Ben Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He had a D1 offer, ended up going to the NFL. DeForest Buckner, they said, and he was Gatorade Player of the Year in Hawaii. He averaged 12 and 10 as a senior in high school.
That's crazy.
Drake May, hey, his highlights is cold too. Um,
I ain't see his.
yeah, you need to look up Drake Mays. He got some highlights out there too. Garrett Wilson, he played basketball in high school. So a lot of these guys played in high school. Even Javion Clowney, he played in high school too. Power forward. He said he got a good highlight reel too. Jamar Chase,
And
he
see,
played
like
in
this
high
is
school. A lot of these guys played in high school. Joe
so
Burrow.
I'm watching Cooper DeJean's basketball highlights, and that's what I'm saying. You can tell that he's a football first because like all
Mhm.
his dunks are like the same. They're
Mhm.
tight, but they're just like the body movements, like they're a little stiff. Like you could just tell that that's not his natural. But he's talented. He's athletic, so he can make things happen. But I could be tripping, but like it just looks
You
a
can
little
tell when
odd.
somebody needs to be supposed to be on the football field versus
Yeah,
a
he's
basketball
man,
field.
he definitely
Like
got
even
some.
if you look at Miles
Ooh.
Garrett, like you know what I mean. You look at him like, yes, can he play? Yes, but like his movements, like unless he's just out there messing around and he just dunking and stuff, like yeah, that look cool. But like in a game, like they were showing him in a pickup game, and it's just like,
It
dude, his
doesn't look
move,
fluid.
it doesn't look like you know what I mean, like you used to running around picks and stuff like that, like you would in NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people like Keenan, they saying Keenan Allen, Mason Crowd, all these guys played in high school. Mike Evans, of course, they say Miles Garrett, Nick Foles, Patrick Mahomes. He averaged 20 points as a junior in high school.
Man,
Man, he's probably playing in 1A.
I,
probably.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just reading they reading some of their stats and stuff. I mean, T. Higgins played shooting guard, and he had offers from Louisville, Tennessee, and Auburn. T.J. Hawkinson, he played in high school. Travis Kelsey, he played in high school.
Yeah, so now that you mention all these, I think there's some guys that could
I I
Pause. I was
think the
going to say
guys.
both
I think
ways,
the
but
guys in the NFL probably. There's a lot of guys that play some ball in high school. Um, but in vice versa, if you don't hear a lot of NBA guys, you know what I mean, the other way, like that play a lot of football and ended up picking basketball. Like it's just like a lot of them guys that they were naming on that end was like, oh yeah, man, based on his size and his athletic ability, we could see him playing. It was probably like out of the 30, it was probably 10 that had high school or college basketball
mhm.
or football background. So I, I
In my
I think Austin Rivers is wrong. I think it translates better football and NFL, football players to the NBA.
and I feel like you definitely can't name any foreign players.
Nah,
They
they
don't
are.
even know the game of football.
Yeah, nah, they not like
Ain't
nah.
never even attempted to play it. So, to me, you probably should leave it up to American players when it comes to that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, nah, that's crazy. So we got a comment. I there's no gym basketball player that can go and record their pickup football game. Yeah, nah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point too. Like, 'cause, I mean, they say, oh, well, you haven't seen an NBA player. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, can't just go put pads on and just go out there and do it. I mean, but anybody could go to a gym, whether it's the YMCA or whatever, and
Yeah,
hoop and look good, look bad, whatever. But
Right.
so
I
that's what
guess
I'm
it's yeah, it
saying.
is
There's
kind of hard to just
too
walk
many
on through like
variables.
you know what I mean, like a mini camp and walk in and just start lining. I mean, because even I mean, pads aside, even if you're doing 7-on-7 drills and things of that nature, like I think, like you said again, with the proper training and you put them with a position coach for, you know what I mean, 6 months. You know what I mean? I think there would be some guys who would be like, okay, yeah, he can bend the quarter. Okay, yeah, he is strong enough to get after the quarterback, or you know what I mean, or like you say,
Right.
play corner is probably one of the hardest. Corner and QB would probably be one of the hardest, but like you said, receiver, the ability to jump, track a ball. It's the same thing in basketball when you're catching an alley oop or catching a pass. You know what I mean? Like on the fast break and stuff like that. You got to track the ball and have good hands. So I think some of those players would translate. Like you said, as a receiver or tight end, things of that nature. He said, "Hell no, we can't hear it." So well, it was what it was. But we kind of talked about it anyway. What it was saying. So all
okay.
right, man. Let's jump to this last topic, man. So let's see if we can hear this one. So Charles Barkley defends Darvin Ham and Frank Vogel, the firing of those two. So I'm gonna share this, and hopefully y'all can hear it, because I think this is a good one.
All the games, we watch all the talk shows. A lot of these people on television, they're cowards. They want the players to like them. They don't want to do their job, which is to tell the truth. And I just want to say this about coaching. Anybody who thinks the reason the Lakers suck is not because of Darvin Ham or the reason the Suns suck is because of Frank Vogel, you don't know what you're talking about. Frank Vogel is a hell of a coach. Darvin Ham is a hell of a coach trying to get his career started. But for all you punks, idiots, and jackasses on other networks who want to be media and who want all the players to like y'all, do your damn job. The Lakers suck, and the Suns suck because of the players.
It's
It has
nothing to
nothing
do
to
with
do
the
with the
coaches.
coaches.
I
I
feel
feel
better
better
now.
now.
Here, I
I
can
can
tell.
tell.
Looks like you're like getting that
Getting
off
that
your
off your
chest.
I
chest.
What do
did.
you
I
I
think?
hate
hate
it,
it,
man. You
man. You
sit there
sit there
like
like
Darvin Ham needs to get fired. Frank Vogel needs to get fired. Who put them teams together? Them trash ass teams put together need to get fired. Them guys are they didn't just all of a sudden suck as coaches. People who put them teams together they start packing up their stuff.
A little bit more on the game you just saw, by the way. The Clippers.
All right. So Jared, you kind of been waiting for this, man. I know you. We've heard throughout the year your thoughts on Darvin Ham. What do you think about what Charles said?
Okay, so he said all of a sudden they suck. When the hell have they not sucked? And then he's saying both coaches are hell of a coach. They're hell of a coach or whatever he said. Based on what? And it's like he's trying to totally eliminate the fact that coaches are responsible for holding players accountable. So if you see a bad habit, It's on the coach to correct that, right or wrong.
That's right.
So for your team to continue to make the same mistakes, have a lack of effort, have a lack of play, don't know what they're doing, that's coaching. And it's just like I think all these old school players are just so jealous of these guys now because of the money that they're making. So they want to find a way to push that back. But if you're the coach of a team with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, and you get swept in the first round, that's on you because you're not figuring out how to get that team to win. Whether it's you need to bring somebody off the bench, whether you need to switch who has the ball here, whether you need to rotate, when guys are in, when guys are out, or what positions or what spots on the floor you want them to get. That's all coaching. That's all coaching. So like I totally disagree with that. And he's trying to call people idiots because they're not backing these coaches that outside of Frank Vogel's 2020 championship, with LeBron and AD, he hasn't done anything. And Darvin Ham, this is his first head coaching job. He has done nothing. So like I think they both deserve to lose their jobs. They're both horrible coaches. What are we talking about?
All right, Boom. What do you think, man?
I had to totally disagree. I understand where he's coming from, but let's be real here. It's the GM's fault all the way across the board. For one, you're bringing in these players and you're bringing in these coaches. If these coaches suck, why you didn't see that during the interview process?
And that's another thing. Who the
That
hell decided to bring in Darvin Ham?
that's what I'm saying.
So
Like
yeah, I actually agree with that.
it's solely on the GM. The Suns have had 3 head coaches in 3 years. Get the fuck out of here. If I'm the owner and I'm paying for 3 head coaches next year, oh no, bro, you gotta go. Because at this point, you're wasting my money. I'm paying 3 dudes to stay at home. I'm about to pay a fourth. I'm about to pay 4 head coaches for this one team. Nah, bro, you
Granted,
gotta go. You
on the
gotta
flip
go.
side of
And
that, go ahead. My bad.
and for the Suns case, they shouldn't have never went after Bradley Beal. When they was talking about going after him, I was like, do they see that? Do they not see that you have 3 ball handlers, like 3 people that need the ball in their hands to make plays? Like Devin Booker, he's not a run around catch and shoot type of guy. KD is. He can possibly do that. But Bradley Beal is not a facilitator. He's not going to be able to move your offense like that. He's a shooting guard who needs that ball in his hands. So he shouldn't have never been traded for. They didn't need that much help. What they needed was a facilitator at point guard, not another combo guard playing playing on that team. And then for the Lakers standpoint, I know everybody, I know a lot of people are LeBron fans. I'm not. I haven't been a LeBron fan since his last year in Cleveland the first time.
Oh Jesus Christ!
But that don't make me a hater. I'm just
Mm,
I know what I know. I know what I see. But
a little
for
bit.
LeBron's case, comparing when you come into it, like let's be real here. Every time something messes up, it's the coach's fault. It's the coach's fault. Oh, we need to get this player to help the team. We need to get that player to help the team. When has any players really developed with LeBron? And I also saw earlier that was a great comment. Just let LeBron be the player coach. If if these coaches keep getting fired, just let LeBron be the player coach. If he's the one who at the end of the day is going to low key undermine these coaches, let him just be the player coach. Let him do his thing.
I ain't gonna disagree with that. Let it happen then, because the coaches clearly aren't on shit. So I mean,
But that's the
yeah,
thing. Who wants
I
to
can,
who wants to go coach a LeBron led team when they feel like, oh, at the end of the season, I can just lose my job.
a
At
coach with
this point,
a coach with some balls. I could coach
but
them to win. So any
nah,
real coach with any established system, okay. For example, Darvin Ham's, what is his favorite after timeout play?
Oh, I don't know. He shouldn't have been the
Okay,
head coach to begin with.
okay, all right.
That I
How does he like to defend a point guard that likes to get to the free throw line extended?
I can't even tell you, my brother.
Exactly. I can't even. I watched every second. That's a problem. That's a problem. So I mean, I don't care what anybody has to say about so and so getting so and so fired. That's an issue. Nobody can answer any of these questions for me. How do we not know what his bread and butter is on offense? You want me to tell you what Michael Malone's is? That dribble handoff with Jokic at the top of the key with Murray, getting Murray going to his left hand side so he can create. They literally run that same action almost every time down the court.
But
That's that's the sign of a coach who knows what he wants to do and what the situation is and what he knows his guys can do better than anybody else.
you know what that comes with? That comes with continuity. He's Mike Malone has been their coach for years. You
And
can't
I get
just
that.
you can't just bring in. I don't care what nobody says. You can't just bring in a coach and hope that he will just do like get it
With
done
that
that
kind of
first year.
talent, with that kind of talent, you should be able to, for
They
sure.
don't have no
He
talent.
never,
I'm
he never
sorry.
even
It's
that
just LeBron and AD.
that
It's
team
just
has
LeBron and
ton of
AD.
talent, but none of the guys have roles. That's another thing. Like with coaching, you got to establish roles. You got to say, hey, look, like for example, Minnesota, Jaden McDaniels, bro, just lock up. We don't need you to shoot threes. We don't need you to score. We don't need you to create. We don't need you to do none of that. Just lock up. That's all you got to do. Anything you give offensively is a bonus. Cool. Why can't you establish those kind of roles with anybody on the Lakers? It's just a free for all. D'Angelo Russell, half you score 30, cool. If you score 8, cool. Austin Reeves, if you drop 22, cool. If you drop 12, cool. It is what it is. Nobody has a role. And I also think that the Lakers have had too much talent. When you have too much talent with the coach that's not good, that can almost be a negative because after 2 years, Darvin Ham still doesn't know which five guys he can get the most production out of. He don't know which 8 guys that he wants to play and let the rest sit. Granted, there has been some injuries and people been in and out of the lineup, but as a coach, that's your only job is to figure out what is the best combination of guys on this team for me to go out here and get a win. That's it. And when you're on the opposite end of a 14-2 run, okay, we got to get something going to the basket. But instead, there's a 5 out, and then Rui Hachimura, has an ISO. When you're getting slid 14-2, it's just little stupid stuff like that. And maybe I watch too much of one team, but that's
Nah,
that's that's trash. That's a
I mean,
trash coach. He's it's a trash coach team. Like they have
but
no concepts. They have no go-to move. They have no go-to plays. They're it's a complete disaster. And as a coach, it's your job to provide all that.
but that circles all the way back around to whose fault is that? Rob Palenka.
Yeah,
You
well,
when
if
you
you're going at it from a he shouldn't have never been hired, I agree with that. But
yeah,
the
no he
talent
shouldn't
was there.
have. When you have a team like that has two superstars on the team, you can't bring in no first year coach. You have to bring in a
I
coach
agree,
who has
I
who
agree
has
with that.
experience, who has like legitimate experience, not just because he played in the NBA. And let's be real, Darvin Ham, he was a bench warmer in the NBA.
Right, he was weak.
So you can't just bring him in and it's his first year coaching, being a head coach. No, you need somebody who has at least 10 to 15 years of
And
head
that's
coaching.
all us LeBron fans have ever been asking for. He's never had that.
But how it's being
The-
played is he was handpicked by LeBron.
But
and
LeBron is not, and see, that's another thing. People like use that as a negative. That ain't his job. That's just like if I'm a mechanic, and well, let's just say if I'm a school teacher, I'm a music teacher, and you have me work on your car. That's not my fault that I can't fix your car, or you can't say that. Oh well, Jared told me I needed a brand new crankshaft. That you can't say, oh well, Jared, you did a bad job because that ain't my job. So like I can't be penalized for doing something that's not my job. So I can't fault LeBron for, oh well, LeBron handpicked him. That ain't his job. So if you're an organization and you're having players pick coaches, that says more about the organization than it says about the who. Nobody ever said LeBron was GM of the year. So whether
And
he
it
does
all
make a call or doesn't make a call, if it's wrong, that's not his job. So it doesn't even matter. That's the
circles
way
back
I
around
see
to
it.
Rob Palenka. Got to get him the fuck up out of there.
Hey, I'm cool with it. And just like people were probably like, damn, well, Frank Vogel lost his job. And bro, if you got them three guys on the team, you better figure something out to at least get out of the first round. You have to. And you got dominated. You didn't make any changes. There was nothing you can do to get those three all-star caliber players going all NBA caliber players going. Like, there's no way, bro.
Hey, hold on, let's be real about it. They fucking up the Nuggets. So you got to kind of be like, huh? Well, you got to kind of toss it up because they got the Nuggets down
Yeah,
0-2.
but see, and the counter to that though is that there's no reason why the Lakers or the Suns shouldn't have been in the top four with Minnesota and the Nuggets. I'm
You talking
still
about
not
record wise?
okay. See, I don't know how they're doing what they're doing with that roster. I don't understand it. Like I said,
Continuity,
unless
my
it is
brother.
their coach that's really like a PhD master basketball scientist, I don't know. But
That
there's
that's
no reason why the
that
Lakers
that's
with their talent and the Suns with their talent shouldn't have been in the top four of the conference playing a lesser opponent. Although the West was kind of stacked this year, but
it
there's
was, but you gotta that's where that whole chemistry and continuity come into play. The Suns thrown together. The Lakers have been thrown together.
that
OKC
core has
has
been there
been
long enough.
built. They've been built from the ground up. They've been working inside out. The Lakers and the Suns outside in. So
That's a good point.
even you can have all the superstars in the world all you want. You can have some top 20, three top 20 players on your squad. But if their games don't mesh, they
Or
can
if they're
talk
coached
all they
or
want. They can talk about and say, oh, we go do this and that. But if their games don't actually mesh on that court, it's all for nothing.
I feel that. I never thought the Suns were gonna be Um, I never thought the Suns were gonna like win it all. Did I think they had the talent? Yeah, but I mean, I think they traded away a lot of the pieces that they actually need. I think DeAndre Ayton probably would have helped. He could have gave you a little bit more scoring than Nurkic could have. Obviously, CP3 being there would have helped. I mean, they didn't have a point guard, so when I heard the trade went through, I'm just like, well, who's gonna run point? Booker is a scorer. Beal is a scorer. KD is a scorer. Neither one of them guys are none of the three of those guys that I just named are
Facilitate.
set you up type players,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna run the control the pace type player, or I'm gonna set these guys up type player. So I mean, I'd never, but I mean, you gotta have the talent to get out of the first round. Like that's just crazy.
But
Yeah.
that's where that whole facilitating thing. Like if CP3 was playing on the Suns instead of Bradley Beal, I feel like the Wolves
Because
might
you
have
got to
beat
think
them.
before that trade went down, they made it out the second round. I mean, out of the first round last year.
Yeah,
So there's only two. Those are really the only two players that switched because the year before that was the KD trade, and that's when they lost pretty much all their role players.
Yeah,
So, but you got to think you go from NBA Finals 1 year to going and getting KD to making it to the second round, and then you get rid of CP3 and you bring in Bradley Beal and you get bounced in the first round. So like to me, like I agree with you, Boom. Like that's GM. You know what I mean? Like that's whoever's assembling the team. You know what I mean? The coach can only work with the players that he's given. He don't get to go pick players, say, hey, bring me him, bring me him, bring me him, and then coach. It's like, hey, look, whoever walks in during training camp, that's who I gotta work with. You know what I mean? The higher ups, the front office, it's their job to give me the best players. And it's on me to coach them. But another
gotta figure that
thing,
out,
and
bro.
one of the biggest things in the NBA that we, you know, kind of gloss over or we don't look at the human element of it is egos.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these, when you put a combination of superstar players together, sometimes it's egos, and people don't want to buy into the system that the coaches, maybe present. So now you're putting this coach in a position like, okay, I got to find something that work. Yeah, but every time I'm trying to implement something, KD, like he came out and said he didn't like his offensive role in the offense, especially the second half of the year. It's like, how do you not center the offense around KD? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's
Mhm.
Devin Booker's team, but KD is the one player on your team that can do everything.
And to answer your question, coaching.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I'm
go
saying.
ahead.
I'm just
Mhm.
saying though, like, but if you get again like Bradley Beal in and out the lineup, hurt, here and there, here and there. Devin Booker in and out the lineup, like these players, injuries play a part too. Like you said, chemistry is huge because you look at the Timberwolves; they've been together for like almost 4 years now. Most of them since that Rudy Gobert trade. And then you look at the Nuggets. A lot of them been together for a long. The core of the team has been together for a long time. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And like you said, the Lakers they've been switching pieces out the past couple years. You know what I mean?
We
The
got too
Suns.
much, man.
I know.
They
I'm just saying
just,
they,
just
but
think
but
about all the guys that even didn't play. Like you had Vanderbilt didn't play, Christian Wood didn't play,
yeah.
Gabe Vincent missed almost the entire season. Just like man,
A
they
lot of them,
had
but a lot of them guys is hurt. But like you said again, like all that. I mean,
Cam Reddish didn't play.
injuries affect chemistry also. You know what
Yes,
I mean? When a guy's not there, you know what I mean. And you may be counting on this production. You may be counting on a Vincent's, 3 and D. Like okay, that's really a key part of what I want to do offensively. Man, he ain't here. I don't have nobody who can really come in at that level and fill that role. You know what I mean? And you thinking about, like the Suns, like they didn't have somebody to facilitate, but you thinking, like you said, Jerry, when you got those three guys, somebody like the ball should be able to move. Y'all been in the league long enough because this is basketball at the end of the day. So yes, coaching plays a part, but y'all are professional. Y'all the best in the world. So we still playing basketball at the end of the day.
and I respect that comment. But then if that's the case, then they might as well just not have a coach.
I mean, you could say that a lot of times. Ike is talking crazy in the comments. He's saying defund the audio guy and the comment guy because he said this 30 minutes ago. I don't know. Your comments are coming in late, sir. I'm sorry, but so I think it's a mixture of like you said, the front office putting the players together, the coach getting buy-in from the players, but then the players also going out there and executing on a night in, night out basis. So I
Yeah, the
think it's all
players,
three.
the your players definitely have to buy into your head coach. And if the players aren't buying in, like to me, they have to buy in day one. Like when you're
Yes, sir.
bringing in people that like coaches to interview, you need to have like your star players in there a part of that interview process because they should be sitting there okaying certain stuff like after the interview, the post interview, like giving their input on how things is going to look during the season. Like,
What type of offense do you like to run? What's your favorite defensive sets? Like
yeah,
you said, what is your favorite play out of timeouts? Like, okay, I like to, you know what I mean, and kind of have a like a really a bonding moment with these interviewers, you know what I mean, with these coaches before you hire them because hey, look, the players are the most affected by it.
right. Because once a coach loses the team, everything goes awry. I don't care who you got on that squad. Once the coach loses the team, it goes awry. And you saw it with the Lakers. Like you saw it in the playoffs, when that final game, it was basically blowing off Darvin Ham. Hell, after the game, they was already talking about him losing his job.
Wait a
As
minute,
I should have.
and
I
well,
was
I mean, and
fully,
then,
fully behind that.
and I think the Lakers is a bad example, and I'm only gonna say that because one or two shots that game is set. That's a 7 game series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like they were
Shit,
getting It was.
a
It
few
wasn't like they got.
possessions,
That's
a
what I'm
few
saying.
possessions. That's a Lakers 4-1
That's
victory.
what I'm saying. Like they didn't
Like,
get
God
dominated, and I
damn.
think and pretty much the same team went to the Western Conference Finals last year. So I don't think it's all coaching. I think it's just situations are situational, and sometimes, like they say, the ball don't.
Situational is 100% coaching, bro. You literally took that's a coaching word.
Okay, so
Nah, that is.
Situationally, the Lakers are terrible.
But
Situationally,
but look at the last two shots that or look at the shots that Murray hit. Like you hit that over Anthony Davis, probably one of
did
the
that.
best players
But
ever. You know what I mean?
the
Defensive players,
first one the first one he made, your team is up 20 in the third quarter.
right? But
You
I'm
should have
just
never got to that.
I
And also the second one that he hit was that yeah the second game winner that he hit in game what 5
Hmm.
You don't even have a timeout. You had 3 seconds left after that shot went in, but your your coaching strategy is so terrible.
He
You
didn't.
didn't even have a timeout left,
Yeah,
so
they didn't have.
he had to
Yeah,
just push it up the court, throw up some bullshit.
yeah, but I mean, again, like that's just a player seizing the moment. Like Murray hit two clutch shots. They
I
just
get that, but it shouldn't have even
and
gotten to that though.
right, but I'm just thinking if let's say the Lakers make it to the Western Conference Finals again, like if they'd have made it this year, we're not calling for Darvin Ham's job. And even if they'd
Shit,
have won all those games by 1 point, let's say every
shit.
game they won in the playoffs, they won by 1 point,
He's
a
been
last possession on some
he's
BS.
been terrible. He never should have got the job. He's been terrible. I haven't seen any. Like I said, after 2 years, bro, we can't even diagnose anything that he likes to do that's good. We don't even know what he likes to do. I can't say, oh yeah, well, Darvin Ham likes to run the pick and roll with LeBron and AD, likes to put pressure on the defense that way. So he's gonna bank on that, to start the game, and then he's gonna switch to XYZ, or he likes to post LeBron up at this point in the game when they need a bat. We can't have this conversation about this guy. We don't even know what he likes to do because he's nothing that he does good. There should, for every coach, there should be some dialogue as a, oh yeah, he likes to do this, or his teams are always this, or his teams are rarely ever this, or his teams never give up big leads, or his team always plays defense, or we
Okay,
can't say anything
okay,
about
then.
we
So
can't say any of
I
that.
got a question then. So is Greg Popovich a bad coach?
I don't know what's going on with him now. He's
Oh, but see,
he's had his glory
we
days.
got the same rules
But
have to
yeah, he
apply.
could be a very terrible coach now. But also, those teams are booty. I don't know
Yeah.
what the Spurs are trying to do.
Okay, but again,
That
like I said,
team sucks.
but
Whenever your best
the
player is
same,
a
but it's the
rookie,
same, it's the same
that's
GM, same front
tragic,
office from
and
the
it's
five
not even
championships.
close. It's not even close. So you can't compare the level of talent on the Spurs to the level of talent on the Lakers.
But then when you're talking about coaching, then you also gotta if there's a player factor in that too, you can say, okay, we know Greg Popovich is a great coach. Why is he not getting the results out of these players that he got out of
Because they're
the
not
front
good.
office?
Just like a coach can be good, players can be not good too. Like I'm not saying that there's no every player is good. I never said that.
No,
So
I'm
if
not.
you have all I'm saying is with the talent that you have, there should be a certain expectation. With the talent that Popovich had, there was no expectation. With the talent that they've had the last 3 or 4 years, I mean, the best players that have been on the Spurs the last 3 or 4 years or something like that has been Dejounte Murray, which isn't there anymore, and Wemby. Wemby is double the player as a rookie that any maybe triple or quadruple the player that any other person on the roster is as a rookie. You're not going to win many games like that. When you have a rookie comes in that's 4 times better than the second best player on the team, you can't you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. So that I don't You don't have a LeBron, you don't have an AD, you don't have all these guys that have done some great things at points in their career, but all of a sudden a coach can't find out a way to get them going, can't come up with a rotation that fits, said players with the actual talent. The Spurs have been a trash team for 4 years. So I don't that just doesn't compare to me.
Popovich should have been retired.
Exactly. Exactly. I think Popovich is overstaying his. Yep.
I
It's like
think I
Belichick.
think
It's like
I
Belichick.
think
At a
he
certain
yeah.
point, it's like, okay, you can't just be elite forever. Just like eventually LeBron's going to slow down. I don't know when, but well, he has slowed down. But eventually, he's not going to even be able to average 25. Like there's an ending for everybody, and I just think Popovich might have made it too. But he's put in his work. He got 5 championships.
I think he
Granted,
should
he's
have
had awesome
retired
teams,
when
but
Tim Duncan and them retired. He should have had his swan song
I
when they
agree with
won
that.
their last championship.
I agree with that. He should have went out with them
Hmm.
for sure. Because, I mean, he's old. He's probably 75, 74.
Yeah, he could have easily just went into the front office
He up
and
there.
just did and found out who his successor could be. But
I mean, shit, he let a lot of them go. Like, you think of all the coaches that have worked. Yeah, he's 75 years old. I think of all the coaches that have been under him. Steve Kerr, Budenholzer, uh, homeboy that's
Becky Hammond,
coaching the Rockets right now. Uh, I mean, his coaching tree goes on and on and on. But I mean, I
I don't
think
know.
he's
I
75,
think you gotta
bro.
hold. I think you gotta hold players to the same. If you're gonna hold coaches to this high standard as far as the success of the team, you gotta hold the superstar all the superstar players to that same count too. Like, okay, did you do everything in your power? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you got to go
Sure.
deeper into to analyzing it. I don't think it's always the coach, and I don't think, especially like a rookie coach, and like I think Frank Vogel's been in the league long enough and showed that, hey, when you give him talent, his teams can perform.
I mean,
So
he did win a championship with the
that's what I'm
Lakers
saying.
in the
Like,
bubble. I mean,
and he kept a very mediocre Pacer team afloat for a couple years too. So like, I don't think that's just all coaching on him. You know what I mean? Darvin Ham is a new coach, so yeah, he probably don't have all the philosophies, and he come from a assistant head coach, which we don't know. How he was at the Bucks or what his role was at the Bucks. You know what I mean? Or even was he being truly prepped to be a head coach eventually?
mhm.
But
Apparently not, because
I'm just saying, I'm just looking at Frank Vogel because I think it's a better testament of somebody being fired unjustly than Darvin Ham, somebody who's still a rookie coach. Because a lot of guys that go to teams at least have, like you said, 4 or 5 years, but you got to build that up. And maybe Darvin Ham will get a chance somewhere else. You know what I mean? And to build their resume and to dig more into what worked and what didn't work, and be able to self-analyze his time with the Lakers and be like, okay, cool, this is what I could have did different. Okay, cool. And maybe his next chance, maybe he start off as an assistant and work his way up again, and prove that he's grown from that experience. But I don't just think that, hey, look, if there's a different coach in there, that what happened with the Lakers totally change, or they're not in that same position based on the players they have and the injuries and the situations. I don't think that turns them into a 1, 2, 3, 4 seed. You know what I mean? I just
I
don't
do.
think that. I don't think,
When
because
nobody
if that's the case,
when
that
nobody's
if
being
they
held
have that much
accountable,
talent that they were in what, ninth, and you're saying one coach can take them to top four in the West, then
yes,
there's a lot of coaches
not
that need
in
to be fired in the NBA. A
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
you're not lying. I agree with that too.
but it comes with continuity, and if he can control that room,
Because look at Miami then. Eric Spoelstra should be gone then, based on that analogy.
Hey, I've never been on the air exposure train, so I'm gonna just leave that one alone. I might
I'm
make
just
some of y'all
saying,
mad.
I
I'm
mean, but
a fan of Miami.
he got it to 4 straight NBA finals, didn't he?
Yep,
Ron, yeah,
and he went to one
Yes,
with
and
Jimmy Butler,
LeBron. You can't.
I
Eric
feel like
Spoelstra was the
if he
coach
was
of
a
that
better coach,
team.
they would have won all four.
but
But
he
I
went, but
digress.
he went.
No, they wouldn't have.
He took
Bro,
Jimmy Butler. They went to one
there's
too.
no way a LeBron James coached by me is gonna end the game with 8 points. There's no way. He's gonna have 50 field goal attempts. Like, bro, you're gonna score more than that for sure. You're gonna score more.
Why he didn't then?
That's why I'm not on him as a coach. Like, I don't know.
He's
That's
not
something
doing
you
it,
have
but
to
he's
ask
not doing
him.
it. He's not doing it now. He wasn't doing that before. He's not that 50-point scorer like that. Like, he's not that high volume scorer because he's looking to facilitate. LeBron
Them,
is a facilitator at his best. He can get his shots, but he wants to facilitate the
He's a leading
offense.
scorer of all time.
He's not that type. He's played 21 fucking seasons, of course.
And
but
he's been
there's been,
elite at
if I
scoring
may
in
say,
all of
sir,
those seasons.
there's been a lot of people who've played 20 plus seasons that's
Yeah,
nowhere near him in scoring.
nowhere
Not
near
But
even
him.
he's
top
not.
20 in scoring.
But he's not that type of scorer. He's not that 50-point
Like,
scorer. That's
so
what I'm
are you
saying.
going by eye test or what? Like,
He's not that 50-point. If he
talking
was,
about
then
somebody that's the leading scorer ever
why
is not
doesn't
a
he putting
certain
up
kind of
50 points a
scorers.
game?
But 2 years ago, he averaged 30.
Like, he's
He's
He
what?
averaged 34 seasons 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago. So that's year 20. Or no, year
And
19.
that's what kills me about the
hell. Who
LeBron
else did
argument.
they have
Like,
on the team to score? You're not gonna
people.
say
Oh, here
he
we go with
wasn't
that.
that.
Okay,
I'm just saying,
all
man.
right.
Somebody
I don't
got to
know.
score. Somebody got to
Oh
score.
man,
I don't know, man. He's been doing
Somebody
LeBron
got to
average.
combos just
score.
be getting so strange. That's why I be trying to just stay away
Somebody
from
has
him.
to
'Cause, like,
score.
All I'm saying is,
And he definitely
you
wasn't.
can't say the man is not a scorer. That's all I gotta say. You can't say he's not a scorer. He is
He's
a
a
scorer.
facilitator. He's played 20-something odd seasons.
Listen, he's a very, very good passer, but he's
so
also an elite scorer.
let me ask you this. So, how much does a score average for a career?
What you
Yeah,
mean?
who do you consider a scorer? Like a
We're
top
talking
tier
about
scorer?
averages, so that means
Yeah.
you could play one season, you could play 30 seasons. We're speaking on averages, so the amount of years is completely thrown out.
So are you saying? So are you saying he's a more elite scorer than Jordan and Kobe? AI?
I mean, he's a leading scorer
Because when
ever.
they were playing in their
He's
prime,
just as
when they were
good.
playing in
He's
their
a leading
prime,
scorer ever,
you knew what
and
they
he has
was
a higher
doing.
field goal percentage than all those guys.
And
All of them.
I would say he's just as good a scorer as any of those.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. He's a leading scorer ever.
I'm not giving that just because
Like
he
that's
got the
like I
record.
said.
I
That's the
mean,
thing
He
hell,
about
can wait a
LeBron
minute.
combos. Like
He can get to the rim. He can get to the rim like
they
AI.
lack facts. A lot of
Now
LeBron James
his jump
conversations
shot.
lack facts. Like
I'm just saying his jump shot is now his fadeaway is damn near
facts.
unstoppable now.
Yeah,
His three point
nobody
did they
scored
get
more
swept?
points
he's
than
So why
damn
did
near
they get swept?
Like,
Why did they get swept? If he's that, why did they
because
get
the coach
swept?
sucks. We've
They
been
didn't.
talking about that
So
for
now
the
we're blaming on it. Don't move
And
the
for the record, he
goalposts.
didn't get
Hold on,
swept.
wait. Don't move the goalposts.
When did he
Because
get
if he's
swept?
this elite scorer, why wasn't he doing what Jalen Brunson is doing? Getting 40 points damn near a night.
Okay, and then
LeBron's
what is the
been
rest
there,
of his
done that,
team
dude.
is doing?
Where have you been the last 2 decades?
If he was this elite, if he was that now, why did they get swept?
Okay, let me get
Why
this
did they
straight.
get swept?
They didn't get swept.
We gotta,
Second, we've been
let's clear
talking
that
about
up.
this for a half hour.
They got a gentleman swept. They got gentleman swept. But go ahead.
Coach is trash. We've been talking about that for a half hour. That's
Okay,
been my
trash.
thesis the entire time. LeBron did enough for them to be able to win. AD did enough
do enough
for them to
because they
be able
didn't
to
win.
win. Yeah, he
And I
did.
can say for
enough.
once,
Yes, he did.
AD
AD
held
showed
up
up.
his end of the bargain.
The Lakers
For
led
once.
for
AD
80%
was
of the
out there.
series.
He was getting up 30.
Time out.
So
The Lakers
LeBron had
led.
literally the past couple years been dragging this team to every single win that they were getting. They were the regular season playoffs.
Man,
He had been dragging them.
the Lakers
AD
led
finally
80% of that series. He's probably the only coach that lost the series after leading 80% of it. That's literally all coaching. That's not talent. If you can't win a series when you've led 80% of the entire series, the Lakers were winning the game. You had a double-digit lead in every single game, and you can't manage your roster to hold those leads. That's coaching all day. That's coaching. Whether somebody's getting burnt out, whether something's getting exploited, whether you have too many turnovers, whether it's just so many factors. Whether Denver gets in those spells to where they score every single time down the court. There's a chunk of a fourth quarter where Denver literally gets a basket or foul free throws every single time down the court.
That's also the playing goes on the players too. Like y'all have to play.
It's Rob
Make
Pelinka
an
for that at the end of the
adjustment,
day.
bro. It's a simple dribble handoff every single time down the court. Blitz it. Do something different. Hedge it. Do something. Do something. Switch. Do something. Change up something, please. It's not that complicated.
Or maybe the players didn't buy in to Darvin Ham's philosophy.
If I'm a defensive coordinator and in my corners are getting burnt on the deep route every single possession, let's try cover 2. Let's get some safety help, split the field. Or let's go cover 3 where we break it up in thirds. Let's go cover 4 to where we break it up in fourths. I'm not just gonna keep letting my man just on an island just get burnt. I deserve to lose my job.
Of course.
I deserve to lose my job. If I keep calling that same
Darvin
defense
lost that team
that's
in the
getting
middle of the
exploited
year.
the same kind of way, I deserve to lose my job.
All right.
Now, if Darvin Ham changes up stuff and then they just keep hitting shots, all right, cool. Like, I ain't saying that they should have won the championship. They weren't the best team, but they were better than what they showed. Leading a series 80% of the minutes and you lose 4-1 is crazy. That's nuts. That's lose job worthy. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. And nowadays too, I want to end on this. Nowadays, the commitment to defense, like in the NBA, is hard to get buy-in on the defensive end. So like no lead is ever safe. We've seen that throughout the past almost 10 years as the NBA has been changing over to this super fast-paced offensive league. It's no lead is safe. You being up 20, yeah, it sound good, but nowadays being up 20 is like being up 5.
Especially when
Because in 5 possessions,
call a 5 out.
it could be a tie game.
You're like Rui Hachimura ISO. Like, of course, you're gonna lose leads if you're letting Rui Hachimura ISO when you're on the
Yeah,
opposite end of a
I'm just
14-2 run.
I'm just saying too. You gotta lock in on the defensive end too. When you get up 20, you like, okay, we got this lead. Not only do we got to sustain it, we also got to get stops.
That's another point I
Um,
made. Establish
So,
roles. Nobody
so
nobody on the Lakers has a role. It's literally YMCA pickup basketball. And you can have all the talent in the world, but if a coach is not there to facilitate that basketball game, you're gonna lose. And I think that was the case with the Lakers and the Suns this year.
all right, man. Well, I guess I can. Any any final thoughts?
I got one. Let's
Go ahead.
boom one to go first.
nah, go ahead.
Let's defund the Caitlin Clark hate, man. I'm so sick of it.
Oh yeah, that's
I
crazy.
mean, I see the most wildest, outlandish comments every single day. It's just like it's sickening for lack of a better word. Like, can we please just let this girl hoop? Like, I don't understand what it is about her that it's not even a white and black thing. I see white people hating too. It's really like people are just so jealous that they can't even control it and they just spew it out on the internet and you know, bro,
I
we
agree.
gotta we gotta stop. We gotta stop.
I mean, especially for now, like with this pool of WNBA talent that just came into the league, that's really r- gonna elevate it to that next
And it
level.
should. It should.
You know what I mean? It's
It
like, if
should.
anything, everybody should be supporting the WNBA and trying to push it to that next level, because we all complain about, oh man, they don't get paid that much. Oh, they ride commercial airplanes, like commercial flights. Oh, we complain about it as men, and even NBA players, everybody who's invested in basketball complain about it. But then when you get this wave of players who's changing the game, who's trying to take it and elevate it to that next level with their popularity and NILs and all this stuff, now we start shitting on them. It's like, and Caitlyn, unfortunately, I ain't gonna say unfortunately, but being white in a predominantly black sport, that now gonna be the face of the WNBA, whether people want to like it or not, she's gonna be the face of the WNBA. People don't like that, and I think it sucks. I
Better
mean,
get over it. Get
That's
over it because
trash.
it's stupid.
I've seen, I've seen a lot of people just say a lot of outlandish things too, and it's like, the WNBA and the players and the people who support it have always said, please come to our games, please do this, please
Yep.
support the league, please. And it's like, okay, you got some players. This draft is literally the the basically the injection into the league to make it elevate. And so what if Caitlyn, like, bro, she just broke the record, well, quote unquote, broke the record,
yeah,
NCAA scoring record. She deserves that hype. Let's be
Right.
real here. If anybody else was to trade places with her, would nobody be talking about Iowa?
nope.
They wouldn't be. So, and her game is just so fluid. Like, she's not just a scorer; she
She's
facilitator.
a
She
passer.
she
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 gets in the
hits the
pass.
open man.
Yep.
Like, and she plays defense here and there, but you know she's a damn good ball player, and she's not looking to take, like, you've never heard her just come out and say, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that," like this and that, whoop whoop. Like, whatever trash talking she do during the game, everybody does that
Everybody
shit.
does it. Everybody.
So it's like, what, she supposed to be nice? Is she supposed to be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry"?
I'm
No,
a
she gonna talk
competitor.
her shit because
I'm a
she can
competitor.
do that. Like,
Right.
And then I don't even think she'd be getting out of hand with that. Even like I feel like it's
it's what everybody do in the heat of the
yeah.
game. You go talk your shit.
Yeah, nah, I agree. I agree with that. Boom, what's your final thoughts, man?
Man, honestly, man, I'm with everybody right now in Indy, well, really in the United States, with this whole official thing that's going on with this Pacers Knicks series.
Mm,
It's kind of hard to watch, man, because you want to just see good basketball, and when you start calling play, like, you just start calling the wrong, fouls, and Um, just it's just it's to me it's not good for the league. I don't care what nobody say. It's not because you're not getting this same thing in the other series where the
It's
officials are
not
just
been consistent.
outlandish calls or they're not doing this and that. Like you're not getting that in these other series, and the other series are okay, even though everybody is up. A game to none, or 2 games to none. You're not getting them type of calls.
The crazy
So
point is that they're rotating refs though. So I don't know
Yeah.
I know
if they
Yeah,
that's
decide
the
to not
sad part
replace
about
them
but
it.
that
or
really kind of makes it really sketchy when you look at it. It's like, okay, why is, even though we're rotating refs, why in this series particularly there's so many bad calls? You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And refs
I'm gonna
already
think
been
about.
investigated for, gambling and all those things. And then you also look at the NFL having the same issue. For some reason, when it comes to the playoffs in these leagues, like, it's something with the refs that they feel like they have to put their imprint on the game.
yeah,
When really in the playoffs, that's when you should be letting the players play the most. Like,
yeah. They're
I'm
they're
not
playing
saying
their
let
hearts
them
out.
I'm not saying letting them blatantly break the rules or get away with hard fouls and things of that nature. You know, keep it somewhat contained. You know what I mean? But also let them play. This is supposed to be the best of the best. And ticky tack fouls, people fouling out, throwing out, these pity pat techs and stuff. And the same thing in the NFL, like missed calls, like there's too many cameras on. There's too many cameras in these arenas and these stadiums for it to be all these missed calls without reviews. I don't think you should have to use challenges to review some of these. Like, there should be a replay center that should be able to go right into the ear of the ref. Hey, look, we need to look at this last play, and it should be like that. It's too
Because to
much
be honest,
technology out here.
one
Go ahead,
one of
go
the
ahead,
plays.
Jared.
Go
So the
ahead.
Cavaliers just beat the Celtics
Yeah, they just
118
whooped them.
94.
They whooped them. I just seen
What?
it popped up.
Yes.
Yeah, 94 to
What?
118. Yeah, they just beat them by 22 or 24.
Are
Yeah,
you?
so the faces I was making wasn't that what you were saying. Like I just clicked on it and I'm like,
It just popped up on my phone. I looked over. I was like, "Ooh, let me keep going," because Boone was in the middle of talking. I didn't want to interrupt him, but yeah,
I'm
it just
sorry.
popped up.
Shit, you damn near could have stopped me in that. How the hell,
24
Yeah,
point loss at the crib?
yeah,
bro? Like, how
yep.
does that even happen,
And we
Mitchell
were
was
just
a
talking.
plus
Hey,
38.
an hour ago, we were just talking about a sweep.
Mitchell was a
man?
plus 38, bro. Jalen Brown was a negative 29. Tatum was a negative 22. That's
Donovan dropped 29 again.
crazy.
And
And that's it. He just dropped 29. He ain't dropped 50.
29
29.
was enough.
And y'all lost like
Hey,
that at home.
bro.
And you can't sit back and say, "Oh well, we missed Porzingis." Bro, you got
Oh,
Tatum, you
There's
got
no excuse.
Brown, and
No excuse.
Derek White has been balling the fuck out.
Drew Holiday,
yes.
y'all got y'all two talented. Al Horford, y'all got y'all two talented.
Man, that's crazy. I thought that was an
Hey,
error when I seen it at first. I'm like, nah,
Yeah, I would have thought that was a typo.
that ain't no way. And then
They
my
did shoot.
computer be tweaking. I was
They
like,
did
maybe
shoot
this like took me back
55%
maybe
to
I
from
need
like,
to
the field.
yeah, maybe this is a game during the season or something. Like, nah, bro. They got outscored by 24 in the second half.
They got out
Um,
rebounded by
Boston
13.
Boston
Yeah,
scored 30 points in the second half total, 16
jeez.
in the fourth.
Wow.
That ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, nah, they ain't gonna cut it, man. All right, man. Well, I guess with that said, man, I just want to thank y'all for watching. Everybody who tuned in, man. Thank Boom. Of course, Jared always with me, man. I appreciate y'all, man. And this has been another episode of the Epic Podcast, man. We catch y'all next week.
Yes, sir.